Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
That's about like, I feel worthy when someone wants me. So the codependent or the more anxious attachment energetic gets a hit of self-worth whenever I'm needed. The hyper independent avoidant gets a hit every time I am wanted, right? So that's still like two sides of the same coin. That's about like not a grounding sense of self within. And listen, this is not me. I did very much a similar thing in my 20s, but it's about like me getting a hit of like, oh, I'm worthy because I've been chosen again by someone. Now get away, right? Because beyond that being chosen is staying in the space of, and now we have to like see each other and be in deeper layers of intimacy. And if you see me there, you might see something you don't like, or you might see some of the things on a deeper level that I think about myself that I don't want people involved in. And so it's much easier to just move on to the next level of the
next person
being wanted.
Wow, the voice of reason is acting a complete fool tonight. And let me just say, I know these conversations are layered, and that's done by design, because relationships are exceedingly nuanced. When people come together, what you don't understand is lineages come together. And whatever is in the man's lineage and in the woman's lineage, y'all get together, those lineages blend, they meld, especially if you have children. Sex is already doing it on a spiritual and energetic level. But on the genetic level, when you have a child, those lineages are bonded genetically. Many of us do that with no knowledge of who we are and what we've carried for millennia. Every one of your ancestors lives in you right now, all the way back to your first one, God. Huh? Did you hear what I said? God is your first ancestor. Every one, right, of your people, your lineage lives in you all the way back to your first one. I know you don't want to hear it that way. I know you don't want me to put it that way, right? You got to put it the way people can consume it. I'm not here to make it easy for you. That's the last thing I'm here to do. I'm not here to make it easy for you. Let me tell you something. You got to get back to remembering what you're here for. And you're here to remember that you are a direct descendant of God. And how do you do it? Through relationships. And how do you take the blinders off your spirit? Do you hear what I'm saying? Through the what they call the mirrored holographic environment of relationship. It shows every aspect of who you are. And sometimes when it does, those moments are exceedingly uncomfortable. But you got to want to not be a slave. Slave to a style, an insecure attachment style. Slave to a type of conditioning. I don't give a damn how good your parent was. They're still flawed. And there's still room for improvement. And if you're taking the generational baton, it is your job, right, to fix it, to elevate it, to correct it. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. I know. It's fine. We've got callers on the line. And you know, I love to have callers chime in. Agree or disagree? To say I'm not my ancestors shows an ignorance of and lack of respect for the struggles that were endured to get you here. Adversity is to be admired and respected, not hidden or ignored. How might avoidant behaviors such as deactivation, discard, or devaluation of your partner signal a greater desire to be free of what is perceived as relational bondage? I'm just interested to know how you guys are processing this, right? We got callers. I want to get them in here. I want to see what they have to say about tonight's topic. Who's been on the longest? There we go. Dorothea, Atlanta, Georgia. Dorothea, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, sister?
A lot about the sense of self-worth. It really resonated a lot with me because I'm working on that daily. I commented in the chat earlier about how hard it is giving myself grace and forgiving myself. And my tests lately have been looking at my kids. Seeing myself in them, how they trigger me, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's something I got to work on within myself.
Right.
So seeing the selfishness, I think it's so much. It's so much to unpack with this. I'm really trying to. If you could help me a little bit,
no,
there's so much to say.
Take your time. You got time with me. I'm not rushing you one bit. Take your time, breathe it out, and let it come out.
So a lot you were talking about the psychological slavery, the rules in the society, the authenticity. That's been a big thing, just being myself unapologetically. And I'm noticing that has been extremely hard because if you're speaking your mind, telling people how you feel in real time, it's looked at as an attack, as a negative thing. It exactly being melanated in America, of course, you know, you got all these labels as the angry black woman and this, that, and the other. But I'm just being honest.
No, you're all right. You get to be honest. But let me just say this. Not everybody creates a safe space for your honesty. So you have to first create that safe space within to say, hey, no matter what comes back at me, because they're taking it as an attack, I'm going to be able to, breathe through that. You feel me? Because you can't control their response to your truth, right? Your honesty, your transparency. You can't control their response to it. All you can control is what is yours to control, and that is your reaction to them. This reminds me of Mary and Ronald Hulnick, their book, Loyalty to Your Soul. And they said, it's not the issue that is your issue. It's your response to the issue that is your issue. You see? So I'm telling you, like, you have to get ready to be able to, kind of weather whatever comes back at you from your truth. And I think maybe some diaphragmatic breathing exercises, will get you right. Sit up straight, place your hands on your ribs, inhale deeply 4 counts, expanding the diaphragm, not the chest. Exhale for 6 counts. On that exhale, you got to get that hiss. Exhale it out like steam releasing ancestral tension. Do it 5 times. But when you get into these practices that I'm showing you right here, I'm just throwing them out there. These are psychosomatic practices, right? And I'm going to call them psychosomatic reparations, right? When you're looking at yourself, when you're dealing with yourself, your shadow, you're doing this integration work, this individuation work, it's not going to be comfortable. So the peace I'm asking you to cultivate in order to weather the storm that comes from your truth, and people are like, I can't take it. These are the actionable psychosomatic reparation tips that you can use. One of them is diaphragmatic breathing from your diaphragm, releasing negativity, breathing in deeply 4 or 5 times, all positive thoughts, all positive intentions, while at the same time accepting, releasing without judgment all negativity on the exhale. And you get yourself in a routine of doing this daily. Mm-hmm. And these are your intentions in your mind. Yeah.
I just started, and I just did yoga for the first time, and I had it was a big emotional outburst, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So,
because you got to remember, when you're in survival mode, the breath is shallow, right? That's the survival breath. You're in survival mode. It's shallow, right? When you're in mindfulness mode, transcendence mode, the breath is deep and it's intentional. And you're breathing from the diaphragm, not the chest, not the stomach, from the diaphragm, right? This is how you rewire hypervigilance. This is how you rewire the vagus nerve, right? To associate safety with full body oxygen flow. This is how you do that. That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
And like I said, listen, this is a safe place. You can call and say whatever's on your chest. If they can't handle your truth, I can. Go ahead and say it. You under dig? I will listen to you. Call in and say, you know what that fool did today? I'm telling you. But do you understand? These are important things.
I understand what you're saying. Is it kind of, and just correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm hearing this, the ego.
Mm-hmm. Where'd she go? Did we lose her?
Moment.
Oh, there you go. You're there. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so the ego versus the higher self. So when I get into those moments where the emotions are really high, for example, I see the truth in it, so I know what's going on, but the person I'm working on being better from really want to act out in that moment, but that's when I'm doing those diaphragm breathing, taking those deep breaths before I even react at all.
Yeah.
Before I respond.
Listen, tonight we giving out some actionable tips for soul reparations. This is bigger than the moment of this person upset me. The tips that I'm giving out right now, these psychosomatic reparations, simple daily practices to reclaim bodily sovereignty and ancestral dignity. This is not only overcoming the problem in front of you, it's also overcoming the problem behind you. See, we carry the problem behind us in the form of attachment plantations into current relational situations, and they manifest themselves there.
Right.
Does that make sense? So I'm giving you these psychosomatic reparations, these tips, these actionable tips, to overcome the moment and the past. So your future...
To break the cycle.
Yeah, you understand? The future's spotless now. Can we do that work?
Absolutely.
Dorothea, guess what you just did?
I run Atlanta, Georgia in the building.
Atlanta, Georgia, the A is in the house. What y'all want to do tonight? Listen, when we come forward, the voice of reason going back to the phone lines. The phones are cracking. Let's keep it cooking.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint. KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on! On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, call the bomb.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Time to get funky and radical hip as I get to the point. Rock this funky joint. Wait a sec, the teacher's got to reject the intellect, but I'm a stepped in, didn't give you it, but give you what? The be the or the chief, I often come to taste it tough, but must not be just enough to manifest the fabric, mathematics, black be that of Asiatic, rock the three, subtract the static, then that you're rocking through my concept. Now I got to stand for this why civilized it, hip hop rhyme from a black mind, to kicking it to you all the time. Ice alarm, you like a more a peace sign, represents my way of life, and this be that of Islam. I'll take my time before I manifest the.
Why do you believe maternal mortality rates remain disproportionately high among black women? And what can we do collectively to reduce these numbers?
The maternal mortality rate is high amongst black women because of racism, because of white supremacy embedded in a medical apartheid system. I think it's really important to state that because people assume that black women are unhealthy. You eat junk food, you don't take care of yourself, you live recklessly, all of the stereotypes around black women based on misogyny, based on misogynoir, specifically the hate that we face as black women in this country feeds into why the heart of this matter is not addressed. But black women researchers and doctors put out a report several years ago that said even when you control for things like poverty, education, pre-existing conditions, when you control in the data for all of that, it's still 2 to 3 times more likely for black women to die during childbirth than white women in the United States. So you have white women who are in poor areas who have a high school education or less, and you have black women who have access to many resources, highly educated, whatever that means. I'm just repeating the data. And they are facing challenges like we saw with the Serena Williams, who almost died giving childbirth, and so many other cases where black women are ignored. We're thought that our,
The great Krishnamurti. Once again, it is no measure of health to be fully integrated into a sick society. You live in a society that has always hated you, hated your spirit, hated your magic. You'll go see the movie Sinners and you'll clap when the Remick, the vampire says, I want your memories. I want your music. And go, yeah, that's racism. White people, white supremacy is vampirism. Look at that. Wow. But when it's time for you to exercise your own internal vampires, let me tell you something. It's somebody else's fault. I'm trying to free you. That's what the great Krishnamurti's mission was, to set men unconditionally free. That was his mission statement. If you're in prison to an insecure attachment style, you're on a dopamine plantation. Do you understand? And that's on top of systemic racism. And I want to give you the psychosomatic reparations needed to free yourself. Simple daily practices to reclaim bodily sovereignty and ancestral dignity. Here's another one. Boundary setting somatic script. All you got to do is stand barefoot. Raise your arms to form a circle around your body and say this. This space is mine by right, not permission. Right? It's grounding. You're rotating slowly. You're imagining drawing an energetic fence around your being. Right? This physicalizes the neurobiology of boundaries. Right? It activates the premotor cortex's body schema to combat colonial conditioning of spatial shrinkage. I want you to envision the embodiment of being unconditioned. Right? This is my space. This is setting a somatic script of this. I am unconditional freedom. Do you know how to do it? Stand barefoot. Get grounded. Raise your arms to form a circle around your body. Say it. This space is mine by right, not permission. Most people don't even know how to take up space in a room because there's a little broken person on the inside that has never thought they belonged, that never thought they were worthy. Right? This is a boundary setting somatic script. Right? This space is mine by right, not by permission. Follow it up. Write it down, somebody. Follow it up. After you say, this space is mine by right, not by permission. Then say, God is, I am. God is, I am. Where does God end and you begin? Where do you end and God begins? God is infinite, so God is infinitely through and through you. This space is mine by right, not by permission. God is, I am. Do you want to hear the sovereignty in that? Can you? Do you understand what I'm trying to show you here? What are we doing? 10 actionable psychosomatic reparation. You're giving yourself spiritual reparations here. Do you understand? Many of us are waiting on an apology, waiting for somebody to acknowledge that they did something wrong, that they broke a soul, that they broke a spirit, that they broke a lineage. They tell a psychiatrist, a psychologist will tell you, you better forget that. You better forget that apology you never got. That's what white supremacy does to black people. And we carry that resentment into relationships, so you know we're not going to let our partner off the hook because we still waiting on a bigger apology that we never got. A bigger acknowledgement. Right? Y'all ready for what I'm trying to put down here tonight? Are y'all ready? All right. Listen, when we come forward, I promise, I'm going back to the phone lines. We got people on the line. I'm going to get everybody on the line. We're going to talk. Let's go.
Or am I too much for the mental? Proceed, teacher, please. Just keep it sort of simple like hip-hop. Yeah, complicatedly I place it according to the moods of my intellect. Step for step, I step a little closer to the point. Rock this funky joint. But I'm your teacher, I teach ya. Rocker when I rock ya. The king I profile brings a different style of hip-hop. Smooth like a wise word, spoken from a prophet. Rough like a slave trying to get away. See, I'm combined with two kinds of rhyme trying to reach ya. The knowledge of myself makes me a poor righteous teacher. Stop to flip the topic. Islamically, I drop it. My duty be to teach, so keep your pistol in your pocket. I self, Lord and master, traveling faster.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The first black mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma is proposing a reparations plan for descendants of the 1921 race massacre. Mayor Monroe Nichols wants a private trust to fund housing and scholarships, no direct cash.
The Greenwood Trust will raise and facilitate the investment of $105 million in private funds along our road to repair, restoration, and right.
The City Council must approve any asset transfers. Washington, D.C. has unveiled Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza, honoring one of just 3 women to play in the Negro Leagues. The 5'3" pitcher had a 33-8 record in the 1950s. Johnson, who died in 2017, is now memorialized in the city she called home. And Wall Street opens higher today after a strong Monday start to June. Investors shrugged off trade tensions and steel stocks soared after President Trump announced 50% tariffs. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Cadillac of Beverly Hills.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
New Always Pocket Flex Foam will change the way you think about pads. Get full-size protection in a surprisingly tiny pack that fits right in your purse or pocket. Perfect for life on the go. With up to 0 leaks, 0 feel, and 0 bunching, you'll forget you're even wearing a pad. And Always Pocket Flex Foam is designed to adapt to your body, so you can move freely and confidently throughout your day. Experience the future of period protection with new Always Pocket Flex Foam. Pick up your pack today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Grab a hold of yourself. Open your eyes. Get wise to the exercise being taught by the teacher that's most dominant. You need knowledge? Well, I'm dropping it. Listen to the rap. Allow it to trap your body and soul so that you can adapt to the man on display as I take you away. So may I? Yes, you may. Proud to be a black man, coming exact and giving and other brothers. 5 on the backhand, great beliefs and peace upon each other with my sisters and brothers. Yo, word to the mother. I say the mother, as in the motherland. But on the other hand, another man tackled and shackled our ancestors, but we beat them with freedom. So let's bless the country that we all came from, because the moral of it all is we shall overcome. The cream will keep rising, we be sizing up. The Asiatic one is enterprising, building and building to carry on, all the way from Malcolm X to Farrakhan. Martin Luther was a tutor, many were pupils, those who fell victim.
TV.com preview. How has the often overlooked abuse of black males, physical, mental, and sexual, contributed to the hypersexualization of black men and challenges in building healthy relationships?
Oh, well, I mean, that's our lecture itself. Well, let me say briefly, the first problem is the disregard, right? So when we look at the child physical and sexual abuse literature, we see that victims of abuse tend to either lash out, become abusers themselves, or develop dependency relationships with other people who continue cycles of abuse. Okay. Within the black community, we have high levels of exposure to violence, not because of our culture or because we're black people, but because we're in environments and neighborhoods that are impoverished, that are violent, that are neglected, etc. So there are structural factors, right, living in a racist society that put black people in contact with violence. Now, that being said, that violence that's in neighborhoods and in communities bleeds into the household. And these black boys are going to experience that. When you have a black boy that's physically abused, when you have a black boy that can no longer trust the sanctity and sacredness of the home or the parents, that creates distrust. It creates a kind of skepticism, if not pessimism, about the ways that the world is going to treat this young man. And they internalize that. And when I say internalize, I don't mean they become bad people, but they take note of that, and it develops as part of their consciousness. We also see this as being related to suicide ideation and depression in young black men as well. So we find that these hostile environments where the young black boy doesn't feel safe, that he's always a victim of stress.
Can you elaborate more on that concept of battle fatigue? Because many brothers who
racial battle
know about it. It's nonstop stress, is nonstop navigating, is nonstop looking around and being strategic with stuff. So can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah. This is, William A. Smith, a great friend of mine, colleague, developed the concept of racial battle fatigue to talk about the way that allostatic load and stress impacts the psychological and physiological aspects of black men regulating themselves, right? That they're not on balance because they're constantly watching over their shoulder. They're on high alert, right? There's a constant worry about where the next threat or attack's coming. And this leads to various, real comorbidities, right? High blood pressure, diabetes, lack of sleep, unrestfulness, anxiety, depression. And we have to kind of take note about the way the environment's actually impacting black men physiologically and psychologically, how our minds are never at rest, how we're never feeling safe, how we don't have security. This becomes a major part of how we start thinking about black men's mental health and their life chances.
Come on, man. Is he not outlining what the byproduct of being a black man in America is? And then the relationships are broken, so the relationships aren't safe either. Home wasn't safe, society ain't safe, and now love ain't safe either. Dr. Tommy J. Curry in here cooking now. Before I go to the phone lines, let me just do this really quickly. Our KBLA 1580 4th anniversary events are fast approaching, and seats at all of our 4 special events is getting tight. Have you registered at our KBLA1580.com website? If not, let me encourage you to stop and do it right now so you don't get left out. I mean, it's really that simple. It's our 4th anniversary, and we want to celebrate it with you. You're special to us. You help build us, and we need you there. If you are planning to join us for our 4th anniversary celebration and barbecue on the Juneteenth holiday, We're asking everyone to bring a food or a gift card or of any amount for the victims of the Altadena fire, grocery store chain or restaurant. We're grateful for whatever you bring to help the families that are still displaced and impacted by the wildfires. So go to our KBLA1580.com website right now and sign up for the events you plan to attend. All of our anniversary events are free. Free. But seating is limited, okay? And you must register. So we appreciate you. Thank you. Let's get to these callers right now. I need you guys to keep it brief. I'm coming to you right now. Let's go, starting with Kenny, Detroit. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What up, brother? What up?
What up?
I know I have a limited amount of time, so I keep it short. I just really wanted to share something, man. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
You killed me when you said you spiritual sharecroppers. When you mentioned that was crazy.
Okay.
That was crazy. That was stupid.
Yeah,
and
man.
You also said something that just it's fitting for where I am in this moment right now.
Okay.
You have to remember what you are here for. That was so deep.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. I really do.
It's so deep. But I know I got a short little time, so hey, appreciate you. This topic is crazy. I'm about to go drop so many clips off of this.
Come on, man. Guess what you just did, though?
We brought D-Town. We brought D-Town in the building.
D-Town, Detroit is in the building. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Truemonger, Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Oh, man. I think too many people spend too much time trying to seek their worth externally.
Right.
And a lot of times, because people have been conditioned to do that and look at themselves last when they should look within themselves first.
Wait, that's a bomb. Wait a minute. You said so many people are trying to seek their worth externally.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Okay, Truemonger, it's been a long time since you called in, but that was a haymaker. That's one of them Ernie Shavers bombs, man. Goodness.
Yeah.
Keep going, brother.
You could just kind of see by how people conduct themselves, how they carry themselves, how they speak. You were speaking on code switching earlier. A lot of people got codes. They got codes within their house. They got codes with their friends. They got codes with their job or their business. It's like they're juggling too many characters.
Wow.
And they get to find themselves. It's the same thing with a lot of stuff I promote. I'm like, I think a lot of people would be scared to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it would challenge them to look within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it will expose them. Because a lot of stuff that a lot of us co-sign didn't come from us. It came from those other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been spilled in their minds for generations.
Mm-hmm.
That they have to be a certain way in order to fit in. I'm like, what are you trying to fit in? You stand out already.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to fit in for?
Mm-hmm.
You try to seek their acceptance where if they do accept you, it's just because they can just so they can use you and then toss you away when you're done.
Wow. I've been tossed away. I know what you mean. Go ahead, brother.
And the same thing happens in relationships where a lot of times if the people that are in the relationships aren't solid with each other, one of them, if not even one of them, will try to doing the same thing to the other. They'll try to get what they can get out of them. And then once they're bored or they want to go find a new toy or whatever, they'll find any excuse to discard you and go find something else. And the one they discard is probably the one they need to be with, but they want to seek something else because they want to fill a void or there's something within themselves that they're not dealing with and they're trying to escape to somewhere else.
Man, listen, True. It's been a minute, dog, but It seemed like you just been in the lab, like you've been in the lab.
You know, I don't like to talk too much. I like to observe and listen more.
No, I love it, brother. I love it.
That way you can process more. So,
yes, man, I love it. Guess what you just did?
Just brought Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the house, and Truemonger he inspired me with a new topic. We're going to call it leftovers. When you're circling the block to go back to what you didn't finish. When we come forward, the voice of reason back in the house. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Girl layer and a heartbreaker, love maker, backbreaker. But then I made a mistake. Yes, I fell in love with
history is a clock that people use to tell their political and cultural time of day. It is also a compass that people use to find themselves on the map of human geography. History tells of people where they have been and what they have been, where they are and what they are. Most important, history tells a people where they still must go and what they still must be. The relationship of history to the people is the same as the relationship of a mother to her child.
Man, Dr. John Henrik Clark out here sniping. Goodness gracious, yes. All of this matters tonight. It all matters. I want you off the dopamine and the copamine and the hopamine plantations. Relationships are not escape pods. Do you understand? They're time machines. And if you don't calibrate them correctly, they can only take you to the past. Sheesh. Everett from Ohio, get up in here, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir, Brother Zoe.
Man.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, okay. Well, excellent topic. I appreciate the intellectual stimulation from tonight and any time that I'm listening to
Thank you, brother.
Your show. Absolutely. It's a pleasure. Now, being brief, what actually encouraged me to call in was when you had told the sister, take your time. And then when I called in, then and now I guess we're at the point where we don't have as much time to take,
right.
Unfortunately. But, yeah, but there are reasons why, it kind of hit me that you may be the person, the exact right person for me to actually get some type of consultation with because and I don't know, I imagine maybe you offer that private, one-on-one consultation. I'm not sure. Do you?
Mm-hmm. I do. I'm a coach.
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
A coach, right, yeah. And so I know with relationships you are, but it's because there is a number of things about my background that I think, somewhat of a kindred spirit with yourself, and it really makes me not really feel like many people are qualified because, like, as an example, no offense to, anyone, but for me, I've been outside of the organized religion thing for so long that it's hard for me to think that someone that is still within that paradigm is, necessarily qualified because of the need to believe in, fantastical things. So that's one reason. But, as an example, I was an Ansar way back in the day, Dr. York. I was a disciple on the, I know you have a history with that. And so just peculiar reasons or similar peculiarities. But to get to the, but let's see. So a couple things. I think I was trying to figure out how can I make this brief. I'm interested in your spiritual assessment for what I've noticed throughout my life, which is a repeating pattern of basically having the best intentions possible, and then those exact relationships being destroyed. And for me, I've kind of summed it up to the fact that, I've been a black sheep because I was, so political, so into black consciousness from the time I was in my late teens, similar to, I think, yourself as well. And so that ostracizes you right off. I was a vegetarian. I only wore African clothes. I was a Muslim. The whole thing. I was Southside Chicago. So that right there puts you way outside the, so I say, okay, they just don't get me. But as time has gone on, I think it's deeper than that. Because even my own daughter, I was a single dad and reared her by myself, except for 5 years of her life, and kind of pretty recently, put her in private school, the whole thing. In other words, when I say the whole thing, I mean really proud of what I was able to do as a single father, and it was just because I had a pretty high income. But as a truck driver, but I own my own truck and that type of stuff. So I was able to do, but I was risking my life to do it. And then, right 3 months before she graduated high school, it all fell apart to the point.
But
yes,
Everett,
sir.
you giving me the whole
encyclopedic
view
People
of it.
always say that. I know.
But you
Come
know
on
what?
Now.
But this
okay.
is what I want you to do, though, because I want to know.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued. Yeah. I'm intrigued now. So this is what I want you to do. Man, if you call in tomorrow at the beginning of the show,
right,
I'm going to give you all the space that I gave the beautiful sister to speak. Because I definitely want you to unpack this whole thing for me. Can you do that?
I'll definitely give it a shot. Like I said, I'm a truck driver, so my schedule varies. But if I know exactly what time, I'll look it up. I'll look up on your site and find out what the regular time is and everything.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Guess what you just did?
Uh-oh, what's that?
You brought Ohio in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got to get to Tanya from Vallejo. Tanya, Vallejo. Yee. What up?
Hi. Salute Zoe from the town.
Yes.
I love the topic. I really love the topic. With smuggling self-worth. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have to understand it's just so important that you realize and never forget your purpose.
Right.
A lot of you guys may have people around your circle, whether it's work or just in your friendship circle, that sometimes you guys got to close those doors. Not saying that you got to hate them, but you got to close the door and just pray for them.
Right.
Because your self-worth, sometimes those people are mirroring you. They're going to mirror you. You may have so much swag, so much charisma, but there's a fake. There's a difference between fake and real. So someone they may come into your life, let's just say a relationship. They may come into your life. They may start mirroring you. All of a sudden, they could be your same age.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, they ain't never heard these songs. Mm-hmm. Now they want to start downloading. This is what people do when they mirror you. They want to start downloading your music. Oh, you're riding together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me put my phone out and let me get that song.
Right.
Well, you the same age as me, and we was in the same era, so how you don't know that?
Right.
They're trying to be you. So it's important for people, don't smuggle your self-worth. The devil is always trying to mirror God's children. Y'all better sit up there and keep it 1,000 because he's always going to come for you, and God's purpose is for you. Wow. And that's just with being friends. That's with being in love. That's just enjoying life. Like in creating a family, adopting a family. Love is love. You have to let love lead the way. Mm-hmm. And there is something important about you. If somebody makes you smuggle your self-worth, they're attacking you. Ooh. They're attacking you to dim your life. So listen to this topic. Play it back. Play it back tomorrow and next week. Wow. But if someone is smuggling your self-worth, you have to understand you're not doing it. Somebody's causing that. And it's coming from, this is warfare. This is spiritual attack. Oh. They're going to take everything that they can from you. And I mean, energy. That's all your talent, your skill set, your intelligence. And by the end, when they finish doing what they doing, then you tired, you need vitamins and everything else.
But Tanya,
so they done took everything.
Tanya, you got to do the same thing as my brother who just called in, because you're cooking. I need you to call me tomorrow and call me early, and we going to talk. Guess what you just did?
So I get off late. I'm so sorry.
That's
I put Vallejo on the map.
It's all right, love. We love you. We love you, man. Tonight's topic was off the chain. Listen, tomorrow I'm going to read those psychosomatic reparations. I gotta give you those because I didn't even get all of them because the callers in the second hour just went ham, and I love that. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. I'll start the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. Voice of Reason back in the building. You already know.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Another wrongful conviction tied to a disgraced ex-Chicago detective, Ronaldo Guevara, has been overturned. Antonio McDowell, who is black, spent 23 years in prison and was exonerated after being framed for murder.
I'm free for the first time